Welcome to Runner's Home Exercise Program with my lovely assistant, Miss Orion Goodamote. Orion is going to be our guide today through the exercises. You get to hear me in the background talking about what we're going to be doing. And this program is specifically for runners. My intention is to progress this. As we progress it, it will be a week-to-week progression. So these exercises will be for the first week. All right, first thing we're going to do is foam rolling. So Ryan has a foam roller and she's going to sit down on top of the foam roller. We're going to start with the right side, so she's going to have both knees bent and she's going to bring her right foot on her left knee and she's going to start to roll her glutes. Lean your body slightly to your right so you get the glutes. So with this, what we're going to try to do here is we're going to focus on about 30 seconds worth of rolling on this particular butt cheek, and then we're going to switch to the other one. When you're doing this, the idea is to try to go slow and controlled, just like she's doing, and you're also trying to find perhaps some sore spots. And if you find a really good sore spot, you can hang out there for a little while and foam roll it a little bit more. You can also alter your foam roller. You don't have to, but it's okay to change the actual angle of the foam roller. I'll have Orion switch, and I'll show you what I mean. First, she just switched feet, she's leaning to her left, and now slow down a touch and rolling out the glutes. So for runners, I'm going to go through just 3 muscle groups that are the main ones that I would concentrate on in the beginning. And then I'll add the last 2 at the very end. So I just want to highlight those 3 because they're the most common areas for soreness. Okay, Ryan, you're going to lean, put your foot down, lean towards me, so you're going to be on your side now. Put your left foot over top of your right leg and keep your knee bent. And you're going to now foam roll your IT band. So here's the thing with the IT band. You're not actually foam rolling your IT band. I heard one time it's like the equivalent of the amount of force it would take to shoot a bullet. Sorry for the camera shaking here, but my daughter got too far in front, so you're fine, keep going. So it's a lot of force is the point. And switch sides. I wasn't really watching what she was doing. I apologize because I was focused on the camera here. So she'll do it again on this leg and we'll slow it down a little bit. Make sure you go all the way down to your knee. That's the part I didn't see you doing before. So, and you're using in this case, her right foot and her hands to control the pressure as well as to control the speed. So the first muscle group was the glutes, the second is the lateral thigh, and you're trying to get your quadriceps, and you can kind of alter your body a little bit. Roll yourself backwards a little bit, Ryan. So, and keep rolling. So that's going to get more towards the hamstring area, and then roll forward so you're more onto your thigh, and that's going to get more into the front of the thigh area. So you can play around with those particular angles. All right, Ryan, you're going to go onto your butt on the floor and have your calf muscles on the foam roller. So with this one, you can start off with both legs and bring your toes straight up, and then lift your butt using your arms to roll back and forth. And again, you're going all the full length of the muscle. Now, I wanted to really highlight this part for runners because oftentimes runners do not foam roll the inner part of the calf. So what I'm going to have Orion do is stand up for just a second, turn the foam roller so it's facing us, and back up a little bit so we can actually have you on camera. Good. And now you're going to foam roll. Turn your toes in. Let's do one leg at a time, Orion, so scoot to the edge here. Yep. And this is an important one because a lot of people who have the shin splints will get soreness on the inner part of their calf muscle. So this is a good way to address that. Now, Orion, put your left foot on top of your right foot, and now roll. So by adding the foot on top, it increases the amount of pressure that you're putting through, and it's a way to increase, and sometimes doesn't feel so good, but sometimes it does. So it's a way to increase the pressure, increase the force, and I like this way better, but sometimes a little too much. Switch calf muscle, or switch legs rather. And we'll do the inner part just for a few seconds here. Good. And now for the last one, with the calves, turn your toes out. We'll do both at the same time. So with this one, you can just have your toes turning out. By the way, she's wearing Ultras. That's why you see the little footprint on the bottom of her shoes. 0 drop, very little cushioning. That's what I recommend. If you're not doing that, don't start with that. It's a bad idea. You got to progress to it. I like it for the wide toe box though. Those of you who have problems with your feet, narrow shoes increases the risk of stress fractures to your second and third metatarsals dramatically. So you don't want to have narrow shoes for sure. Okay, Orion, I'm going to have you lay on top of the foam roller now. So I'm going to show you real quickly how to do the quadriceps. Stay towards the edge, face us, so you're going to be in a push-up position on your belly. These are great instructions, by the way, so it's the model, not the instructor. And go to the side, so you're going to have one leg on it. Okay. So we can't see anything, so you're going to have to go to the side view. Sorry, everybody. So, good. There we go. So now she's going to be foam rolling her quadriceps, and she's using that left leg to help. And the other reason why I wanted to show you this is turn your left toe out away from the wall. Yeah, that way. So now you're going to get the inner thigh a little bit. And this one, you got to play around with it. As you can see, it's not the easiest position to be in. It's not easy because I'm having her do it with one leg. So it's way easier. Orion, let your right leg go backwards and just lay down flat and let your thigh. So this is the way it would look. You don't get a very good view of the foam rolling, but that's how you would do it if you were not a model in a video. Okay, thank you very much for the foam rolling. She's all loose and goose. Now I'm going to have you stand up, Orion. And I'm going to have you walk the foam roller off to the side here. And then you're going to walk back on, so I can have you on camera. To wait there. Okay, now you're going to march for me. So you're going to do a high knee march, lifting your right leg into the air. Good. And then step it down. It's as if she's been instructed how to do this properly. This is perfect form. So the slow motion as well as the arm movements, this is a warm-up prep specifically for runners. So when she gets to about level with the chair, she's going to turn around and come back doing the same thing, therefore staying in our camera screen. So this in slow motion is also going to challenge your balance a little bit. So some of you may find it's a little difficult with that pause at the top. And yet this is exactly what I want it to look like when you're doing the march. So in this particular frame here, it's going to be equivalent to about a minute of work. And now Orion's going to do another march, only this time she's going to turn her opposite arm across her body. So she'll lift with her left knee and turn to the correct, and then march. You can't see her in camera. She was practicing before she came on. So now we're getting a thoracic rotation, which again is very important for runners. So we want to make sure that the runners are getting a good range of motion, that pause at the top with hip flexion. And so right now, after she gets to the chair, she's going to turn around. I'll slow myself down and explain this a little better. So again, about a minute's worth of marching. Go ahead, Ryan. So that rotation right there is what happens in exaggerated form when we run. Now when she lifts her knee up, that's hip flexion, but the down leg is going into a slight extension and you're firing your glutes. So this is warming up the core, your pelvis. It's challenging her balance right there. That's a very good job. Okay, you can turn around, and now you're going to be in the prisoner position, which is hands behind the neck, and then go ahead and march. So now we're working on thoracic extension. By bringing the arms up behind the neck, it automatically forces your thoracic spine into an extended position. Again, her lower part is perfect. The speed at which she's marching, the control, the deliberate movements, and now adding the thoracic extension. A lot of runners you'll see with the upper back is flexed. The problem with that is that you don't get good chest expansion, which means you're not getting good lung expansion, which means it's going to inhibit your ability to run, certainly for distances. Very good, Miss Orion. Okay, so I'm going to have you grab that weight right there. I'm going to just show you a weight that you can hold on to, a single weight, and come on back and march. and she's going to hold it in one hand, and so on the way down she'll hold it in her right hand. This can be any type of weight, so if you do not have a weight or a kettlebell at home, all you have to do is get a backpack, a purse, some form of something that has handles on it, a garbage bag, something to hold that has weight, so you're holding it in one hand. And she's going to come back and keep it in the right hand on the way back just so people can see the weight. And so this is going to challenge you in a little bit different way. So the weight is pulling her to the right, and so when she lifts, it's adding more challenge to the core right now on the opposite side, and it's increasing the load on the same side. So she'll switch hands when she gets to the end here, and she'll march down again using it in her left hand. All of the marching drills should be for approximately 1 minute. So this is going to be the end of our warm-up, and it's going to end up being approximately a 12-minute warm-up. So I'm leaving a little bit of range in here, and I think it's fine for you to pause this and progress. I apologize that it's not more streamlined like professional videos, but I'm a work in progress myself. So Orion is going to then place the weight down, and she's going to go back to that yoga mat next. Let's grab the red band as you're on your way back. So the exercise that I'm going to show you, the first one, I would like, if you have a band at home, you can lay flat on your back, put the band above your knees. If you don't have a band, that's okay as well, but I am looking for it to be done with a band, and we do sell these at our office for $5. You can get them at Dick's and you can get them at Amazon. I recommend a company called Power Systems, and the reason I recommend them is because these bands last. They are durable. Okay, so Ryan is going to brace, gently press her lower back into the ground. She's going to have her hands straight up to the sky. I'm having her do this so you can see that her pelvis is not going to move. If you're at home, it's okay to have your hands on the floor for this particular exercise. Now she is going to brace, tense up, and hold the pelvis still, and just move her right leg out to the side. She's going to keep her foot on the ground and just her right knee. Good. Come on back up. And she's going to repeat that 10 times. This is starting to work on specific muscles that runners need help with. The main cue here is that nothing moves other than her right leg. She's going to do a total of 10 repetitions, and then she's going to switch sides. In the clinic, I'll have people start with no band because they have a hard time holding the pelvis still. So you can see in this video, Orion is not moving. It's just the right leg moving, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. So after she finishes 10, she's going to switch and do it on her left side. So for this routine, you're going to start off with 10 repetitions on the right and 10 repetitions on the left. So she's going to slow her body down a little bit. She had a little movement in the pelvis. I don't know if you guys noticed it. That's much better. And what I noticed is she braced. So she's intentionally tensing. So what's happening here is the right leg, the one that's not moving, is the stable leg. So it requires more work out of the right leg to hold things still, which means to me that she's going to have a little harder time because she's right-handed, which means her left leg is going to be more stable. So even though she's working her left leg with the band, the stable side, the right side, is where she has a little weakness. So you guys will probably notice something similar to that as well. Okay, so Ryan's going to take the bands off, and now we're going to go to a bridge. If you've come to any of the workshops I offer, you'll see me doing lots of bridges. So today's bridge, Orion's going to start with 2 feet on the floor and bridge up. And what I'm looking for with the bridge is the knee, the hips / pelvis, and the shoulders are in a straight line. So that's a very good position that she's in. I don't want her arching her lower back too much. The way you prevent that is you just kind of gently contract your abdominal muscles, and that will prevent it. Come on back down. So that's a basic bridge. For those of you who are unable to do the single leg bridge, which I'm about to do, then I want you to do the regular bridge. So Orion, we're going to go up into a bridge, and then I'm going to have you bring your right knee towards your chest. and hold. And now she's going to count to 10 seconds. And I'm actually going to time this so you guys who are doing it at home can do it exactly with her. And she's holding for 10 seconds. And the position is good. Great. Come on down, all the way down. And then you're going to bridge up. And then bring your left knee to your chest. Good. And we're going to hold that one for 10 seconds. So the key with this is to push with your leg that's still on the ground. Good, Orion. Come on down and switch again. So we're going to do this 3 times, holding for 10 seconds each time. For those of you who are experts at this and find it really easy, I'll have another round at the very end. Good, Orion. Come on down. And then back up. I'll show you the last repetition, how to make it harder for you. I should have showed it at the beginning, but I didn't, so now we have to do it at the end. That was a little early. Do one more set on each side. So I'm using a little stopwatch here. I agree that my measurements may not be exactly accurate, but they're pretty darn close. Good, Orion, switch. And her form is perfect. I would like to take responsibility for it, but I don't have responsibility for it. It's all her. And down. Okay, so the hard way, have your hands up towards the ceiling. When you bring your hands up, go ahead and do the single leg bridge. It makes it more difficult because you don't get to use your upper body to stabilize. So for those of you who find the first bridge version easy, then this is the way you will progress it. Good, go down, and we'll do one more for good measures. Beautiful. So you're going to hold for 38 seconds. Just kidding. All right, and down. Okay, so Ryan, I'm going to have you grab the red band that's underneath the chair right now. And you're going to put it on your knees, above your knees, and you're going to stand up. You can throw the yoga mat out of the way. We're done with that. All right, we're on to some strengthening now. Again, if you have a band, that's ideal. I'm going to show 2 versions of this if you don't have a band. So Ryan is going to have her feet shoulder width apart. Good. She's going to stick her butt back, bend her knees a little bit, and shift her weight to her left leg. And now she's going to keep all of her weight on her left leg, and she's going to touch her toe on the right toe out and then in again, without letting her left side move. So really be as stable as you can. This is a great one to do with no shoes on. It will work your feet muscles too. But for now, I'm going to have her do that. She's going to do 10 repetitions. So this requires a lot of focus. She's doing very well. If you go back and look the first couple, she was a little shaky, and then she got the hang of it. So now she's nice and stable. It's just the right leg moving. And after 10 repetitions, stands up, reset. So she's going to stand, feet shoulder width apart, butt back, knees bent, shift her weight to the right leg, and now left toe taps. And we'll do 10 repetitions here. So at home, if you're doing this, the most common mistakes people make are they let their weight shift to the left side in this case. So they'll see your torso moving back and forth. Notice hers is not. The other one that happens is people will start to stand up taller because they don't like staying down in a nice low single leg squat position. And the third one is they'll rotate their pelvis to their weakness. We're going to do 3 sets. The last set, I'm going to do it with weights so people who don't have bands can see how to do it with weights. I'm getting the hang of this, people. Our next video won't be so abrupt, and I'll have the instructions better. I should have the weights first and the band second, but anyway. So, as I was saying, what you're looking for, and you can notice the difference on Ryan's right and left side also. You'll see when on this left side, she's more stable, so her hip is not shifted quite as far as it is on the right side. So this is another indication that her right side has a little bit more weakness. I'm pointing this out because all of the runners that I've treated who have one side that tends to be more problematic than the other, this is an issue. So they have difficulty holding the weakened side stable. And you can do this in front of a mirror at home to see what I'm talking about. That's better, actually. Still a little bit more shifted than the left side, but not bad. So I'm going to show the weight way so that if you don't have bands at home, you can still do this exercise, but you can do it by holding on weights. So after 10, you can take the bands off. She's going to step off the camera and grab a weight and then come on back on. So she's choosing the heaviest kettlebell we have in the gym. Just kidding. So hold it right up at your chest. And you're going to do the same thing. So body weight, good. Shift your weight over and then go to the side. So there's a few things you can do here. If you have weight and hold it just how she's holding it, and that will make it more difficult, the load will be greater. Another way to do it is if you have a backpack, just fill your backpack and put it on, and you can do the exercises that way. The idea here is we want to have a load, and as anyone who's come to my workshops knows, I'm a fan of increasing resistance. So the next week, we'll be doing more. We'll be doing heavier weights, we'll be doing more bands. Everything will be a progression, so it'll be very similar exercises. We're just going to make them more challenging. And the idea is to continue to progress. So it won't be an abrupt progression because some of you are just starting these type of exercises, but it will be a progression. And again, I will do a better job next time of clarifying where to start from. So I apologize for that for this video. After 10 repetitions, Orion is going to keep the weight and go over to the chair. Let's move the chair a little bit more to the middle of the camera here too. Not directly in front. I want everybody to see PhysioFit. I'm just kidding, in front. So you're gonna hold on to the weight up at your chest again. Put your right foot slightly in front of your left foot, and you're going to sit down and stand up. So this is the beginning of a single leg squat. It's called the staggered stance chair squat. So if you don't have weights or you find this challenging, don't use weights. So this one, her form is pretty good. You get to see a little shake in that left knee as she's going down. I'm looking to check to make sure her knee is going over her toe. She's going to do 10 repetitions, and then we'll switch legs. And so that right foot is only for balance. The left leg is doing 90% of the work right now. I'm choosing a chair because everyone has chairs at home. You can put blankets or towels and fold them up to make the chair higher. So if you find it's too difficult to go all the way down, then that's one way you can progress it. And I'm noticing a little bit with the right foot, get that toe straight in instead of, nope, the other way. There you go. And now go down. So that toeing out that she was doing, that's a thing a lot of runners are going to do again. You're going to try to cheat, and you're going to try to use the angles and positions of the joint instead of the muscles of the hip and pelvis to control this movement. So after 10 repetitions, Orion's going to do it with no weight. And I'm going to have her do a couple examples of how this is faulty. Good job. I asked her in the beginning if she wanted a good workout or a little workout. So just put the weight down on the ground there. So go back to your left leg, right foot forward slightly, and just go ahead and sit down and stand up. So with this one, let your knee cave in as you go down. That's a mistake. Let your knee go out. That was an exaggeration of a mistake too. And then turn your toe out and let your knee still come in. So that's a little exaggerated also, so don't exaggerate that much. So those are typical positions that I'll see people cheating. So now put your left foot straight ahead. And what I'm looking at is her kneecap. And I want her kneecap to go out over her first and second toe. That's right. And now she has her hands out in front of her, which is a counterbalance, so it makes it a little easier. Put your hands behind your neck. So this is a way to progress it before weights. So it's good for the thoracic spine, and you can see that first rep was a little harder for her than the other ones because now she doesn't have the counterbalance. Let's switch legs. So the first thing she's checking is that toe to make sure it's straight ahead. Make sure her pelvis is square. So rotate your pelvis forward, your left pelvis forward. There you go, left one, keep coming. So if she's twisted, I'll see that the pelvis is twisted. Go back the other way. In either case, it's an exaggeration, so I want her to be square. What that means to me is that if she put her hands on her hip bones and I put a 2x4 or a level there, they would be straight. So go ahead and sit down and stand up. Keep your hands on your hips for this one. So I'm going to let her feel and see if when she's going down, her pelvis is staying straight. So her knee looked good. Her knee's coming out over the first and second toe. And now we're making sure that the pelvis is staying fairly square. It can move a little bit, so you don't want to lock motion and prevent it, but you do want to find your strong side and do it like that on the strong side. And the other way to make this a little easier is bring your left foot back, keep it feet a little bit wider apart, and bring your left foot forward, but not as far. Good. And now go down. So that's going to be able, you're going to be able to use more of the left leg to help here. So go back to a regular chair squat, feet to, nope, regular, normal, yep, sit down, stand up. So this way the weight is equally distributed. So when we stagger it, it just puts more emphasis on the back leg. It makes it harder to do, okay? All right, so you're going to grab that weight, Miss Orion, and you're going to come right into the middle of the screen, and you're going to hold the weight at your chest. So now you're going to do a lateral toe tap. So get your body down low, good, and shift your weight out to the side. Yep, bring it back, and now diagonally back, good, and now the curtsy. Good. And now what we're going to do is come up, and you're going to do up and down for each motion. So as you go down, you reach out to the side, good, back up, and then diagonally back, good, up, and then to the curtsy. Perfect. So she's going to do 5. She's already done 2, so we're going to do 3 more, and then we're going to switch legs. Curtsy. Beautiful. So I'm looking at her knee again, making sure it travels out. When you do the curtsy, she did it fine, so it's okay the knee travels out a little bit. These two, it should be pretty much like the chair squat. When you wrap around the side, your hips are going to rotate a little bit, so it's going to shift more weight onto the glute, and that was fine. And now she's going to switch and do the other side. So this is going to gradually progress into more challenging exercises as this exercise program goes. And again, if you don't have any weights at home, this is where a backpack is handy, and you can just wear the backpack on sides. If you have bags of sugar, flour, anything like that, put them in a bag, hold on to the bag. That's the way you can get weights if you don't have weights at home. Stewart's has those, actually all the grocery stores do too, water bottles. And the pint is a pound the world around. That's the only thing I remember from physics in college. So if you put a pint of water, that weighs 1 pound. And so a gallon of water equals, I have no idea because I don't know metric. Okay, so she's going to walk off to the screen again here. This is the final exercise, holding on to the weight in your right hand. Do you have 2 over there or just 1? Okay, so go ahead and walk on your toes for me. So she is walking on her toes now. So this is a calf exercise. Actually, Ryan, when you get to the end there, just flip off your shoes for me, okay? So the last exercise I am going to have you guys do without your shoes on. If you aren't able to do it with weight, that is totally acceptable because this is a challenging exercise for those of you who have not done calf raises before or calf walking before. Okay, set the weight down and do it again without the weight, hands behind the neck. And if you haven't, then work on your balance. And if you are good at your balance, then you can do the prisoner position. Slow down a touch. She's doing very well. She's going to get just before her sneakers and turn around. She's taking a shortcut there. So she's just doing a lap. And then when she gets to the end here, you're going to bend your knees and walk on your toes. This one's called the creeper. And there are 2 muscles in your calf area. And those 2 muscles, one of them you strengthen with your knees straight, and this one is probably more important because 67% of the weight when you run goes through this muscle. It's called your soleus. And when she gets to the end there, I'm going to have her grab the weight just so she gets a nice workout for these muscles too. So at home, if you have dumbbells, you can hold dumbbells in both hands, or you can hold it in opposite hands. And the reason for the opposite, again, is it's a little bit more challenging when you have it in just one hand. It throws your balance off a little bit, makes your core work a little harder, and of course that particular calf muscle is taking more of the load, so it's a little bit more challenging for the calf as well. Very nice job. Okay, everybody, that was a 30-minute workout, and that's where we're going to stop for today. So, at home, if you need a longer workout, go through the strengthening part twice. Otherwise, these videos will be for 30 minutes long. And we plan to have a group class eventually, but I wanted to get this started because I've been promising the Striders running group that I would. But this is also for any and all runners who are interested in getting strong during the virus time. If you have any questions, you can see my phone number straight ahead there on that awesome little banner I got. It has our website also, and it has our email that you can send an email. So you can give us a call if you have any questions, and if you want to talk to me directly about a specific running injury, I am doing virtual therapy right now. Sorry, shameless plug. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.